Warning: Title 17 U.S. Code 512F provides penalties for the deliberate misrepresentation of copyright infringement. The owners and authors of this video, the common denominator, and the Paramystic Broadcast Channel are a nonprofit 501c3 exempt organization and believes in good faith that it constitutes educational fair use, as per Title 17 U.S.C. 107. Persons, agencies, attorneys, and or social media algorithms filing a false or frivolous Digital Millennium Copyright Act complaint may be subject to civil liability. Warning: the following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Accordingly, viewer discretion is advised.
Happy hump day, everyone. Yup, it's Wednesday. And as always, I like to start the program. Hey, maybe you're seeing something a little different Yeah, you're out. This is for a reason. You'll understand, I'm sure. But as always, I start out with my Pledge of Allegiance, and it's I pledge of allegiance to the Constitution of the United States of America and to the republic for which the flag stands, one nation under Almighty God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As always, folks, I have to start with a quote. So I kind of thought to myself, this program is about protected and unprotected, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Really, it's where do we get here and how do we get here? We'll get on with that. But in the meantime, I thought, let's talk about these great leaders that we have in our society. Okay. And the guidance that they have for the people. And this is and this is something you have to understand. This is very, very, very much a Marxist, socialist, communist ideology that's been indoctrinated into our colleges. But great spirits have always encountered violent oppositions of mediocre minds. Albert Einstein. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition of mediocre minds. Albert Einstein. If you look right now at our country on a whole, and I just want to really just jump right into it. If you look at our country on a whole, you've got of the top 50 highest regarded colleges, highest educational institutes in our country, 50. 46 of them have these people who are chanting hate, war, the annihilation, and I mean just wipe the face of the earth off with every Israelite, every Israeli, every Jew. And you know what? That's completely wrong. In the years I was growing up during the war of Vietnam, I was only about 6 years old in 66, for instance, and going into 70. So you understand, we were pulling out, but we saw what was going on, the great movies and stuff like that. We saw what was going on, and we thought to ourselves, we want peace. We want love. We want happiness. So I kind of geared my mindset of thought when I hit about 25 into 30. I wanted to be more like that. And by the time I was 40, this was pretty much my typical garb. I would go to work on production sites as such. And I had my bat belt on, my toad belt, but it would be my bat belt with all my tools. But I was there to do a job. I had a purpose. I wanted to be original. I wanted to be different. In a lot of ways, the zany look, be it the hat, the necklace, what have you, it made me stand out. But we're not getting people that are independently thinking anymore and wanting to really technically stand out. And what do I mean by that? We've got, believe it or not, we have people that are all of one mindset of thinking. They're carrying the Palestinian flags. They're shouting, "We are Hamas." And we really can't say that being a terrorist, I would think anyway. I think that being a terrorist, I think that we really can't say that that's legal. So, technically speaking, what I'm thinking is that we should turn around and in the middle of this program that I'm in, we should turn around and really look at what's going on and how we got there. How is it that we've got 46 of the highest educational institutes? We have leadership. It is a failed leadership. I've been saying this all along. It's a failed leadership of our institutions, in this case, the presidents. You've got people in all these pup tents, and they are definitely, there's not a doubt in my mind, they are financially backed by organizations. In this case, George Soros being one of the top, George Soros' son being one of the top promoters of this activity. And when you've got an American, now this is now bear with me. Think about this. I'm yelling in your face, You are a police officer. Put yourself in the shoes of that police officer. And I'm yelling in your face, I am Hamas. You ain't going to move me from here. I am a lover of the Palestinians. And they don't, obviously, they don't know what they're dealing with, what they're saying. But I am Hamas. You know what? As a law enforcement agent, you have the right to just flip that person around, handcuff them. And I'd process them right to DHS. I'd send them right on to the FBI. And I'd say, you know what? Let's send this lesbian with the colored hair. Let's send this tranny guy that, wants to be a girl. Let's send them to where they belong. They belong over there on the Gaza Strip with the Hamas people. They need to be in Syria. They need to be in Iraq. They need to be in Iran. We should actually be transporting them to Iran rather than bringing the illegal immigrants and flying them in from all around the world, which that is and has been happening. Fact. But we should take them and drop them off. This is your new motherland. Go suck on its teat and see what it's going to do for you. It's terrorism within our country. You are allowed to have a peaceful protest, no doubt. You can have candlelight vigilance. I'm sorry. You can have candlelight vigilance, I believe it is, vigils, where people gather and they pray and they sing, and it may be 100, it may be 1,000. You could get that at one time at a concert, everyone holding up their lighters. When a band was playing one of their more softer, loving songs, caring songs. That's the whole thing. Jerry Seinfeld was actually interviewed this week. And I got to tell you, last week he mentioned about the movies industry. It's in a major decline. We've all seen it. They don't make anything good anymore. Everything they're making anymore is just silly ass stupidity. It's literally stupidity. It's idiotic. Henceforth, you should see the movie Idiocracy. That's where we're at, folks. It's all about the sex, drugs, rock and roll. It got so far, it took us over. We had rap songs that were talking about killing cops. We had thrash, trash, or whatever you call those songs that were talking about, burning down cities. It's just not cool. It's not good speech. It's not good behavior. To take a flag pole and jab it into someone's eye or a pen or whatever, or to hold yourself now hostage in the buildings of the campuses and some of the buildings. So hold yourself hostage, doing all kinds of damage. And you look at and this is purposeful damage, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And yet they don't get treated like the January 6th insurrectionists. Where is the balance? Where is the justice? Where has it gone? What are we going to do about it as a nation? We have an upcoming elections happening, and we think that one man can do it all. I'm sorry. One man cannot do it all. It's going to take that man, and you're going to have to pay attention of who says, I support Trump, and who says, dump Trump. And you're going to have to pick your state state representatives and candidates out from that lot of group. We are in such a bad way. But Jerry Seinfeld says, look at the movies, nothing good. This week, he started talking about how, the extreme leftist, and to be PC polite, controlled. You can't get away with telling ethnic jokes anymore. I can. I do. I don't do it to offend. I do it to get a laugh. Do I say sexist jokes? Of course I do. Again, you have to know your audience in doing so. But you got to have fun. We've lost so much in this world right now. It's not even funny. And we're losing, not seeing any gain of ground. And the one thing that we cannot give up on, and we all keep talking about it, is hope. We have to have hope. Okay, good. I'm glad with that. But you know what? We also have to have humor. Karma sometimes delivers us humor. I didn't get this thing shared out. I can't get it shared out through the Cameron community at all. It's actually pretty funny when I think about it. It's their loss, in my opinion, not mine. But I we had a problem here, a big problem, a huge problem, and that problem was with Jimmy Potts. And all I can tell you is Jimmy Potts. He's now receiving. He was the Cameron um, Citizens Observer editor, and believe it or not, he has now six warrants issued for James Eric Potts, Jimmy the Potts, failure to appear in Clinton County. And the sweetest part about this is it's kind of one of those things where it's going to bite you. It's going to bite you. The things this man has done to our community, which has divided it. I wish the community could see this right now, but they can't. They don't. Well, they don't want to. But this is very ironic. All of this is ironic. This is from a guy that considered himself to be a pillar of the community. A pillar of the community. His own words. And again, he's been given 6 warrants for his arrest. And it's going to get worse. I assure you, it's going to get worse. But he is taking donations, I will tell you. And, if you want to donate to help him out, he's preparing to become an instructor on how to build bicycles to the inmates at the Cameron Correctional Institute that we have here in Cameron, the Corrections Institute, I think they call it. I don't know, corrections facility. It's kind of like a little spa getaway, But, I got to tell you, this guy created more hell just in my life. It's not even funny. And now it's coming back and getting him, and it's getting him hard. Things happen for a reason, folks. And we can laugh about these things. Why? Because we have to. We have to look at these people and say, wow, you've done so much bad. It's unbelievable. You've done so much bad, and you continue to do it. And that's the whole thing. We've got the president going back to the universities. We have these presidents of the universities that are not stepping up saying, you know what, we're drawing a line in the sand. We're not a bunch of babysitters. You're grown adults. You're supposed to have rules and regulations to follow by. And if you don't like the rules and regulations, then get off our campus. But you can't be setting fires and confiscating or taking seizing buildings as you wish. It's just unacceptable behavior. They should be, again, arrested, punished to the fullest extent of law. They are your typical domestic terrorists. These are your children. And there are outside agitators, besides the ones that are funding it. And there are several groups. There are many agitators. They are known terrorists, basically. And these are grown people. And how do you feel about the grown people, the adults in the room? You have to turn around and laugh because it's some of the professors as well joining them, telling them that this is good behavior, that this is how you make a change. This is how you make a change. No, you make a change from what you do in a positive way, not in a negative way. You want to support terrorists? I say arrest the whole lot of you. Put you all, just board them up on a bus, take them to a plane, drop them off. That's it. Done deal. Well, I don't care about their cats in their house or their dogs. I don't care. Let's deal with a couple like that and see how the hell the whole mood changes. You've got Biden a couple months ago wanted to forgive student debt. And this is the student debt that we're going to, these are the students that's going to receive the student debt relief funds and or bill or whatever you want to call it, the taxpayers' dollars. These are the bozos. These are the stupid, idiotic morons. And they are. They are idiotic morons. They have no compass of guidance of morality. They have nothing in their head except an agenda of stupidity, of hatred, and again, of evil. And so what are we supposed to do about these people? We can't give them pats on the back. We can't give them passes. We've got to just basically arrest their asses. Yeah, I said that. Little rhyme. Had to do it. It's sad. It's very, very, very sad. And yet Biden can also, and the federal government can also pull federal funding from the colleges. Yes, the colleges, even with the tuitions as large as it is, and I mean, some of them are just off the wall, insane, crazy tuition fees, and all the donators that donations that come in through organizations or maybe personally, maybe a couple personal alumni of the institution, so on and so forth, in support of so on and so forth. Even some of them are pulling their donations. I don't know what it would be like right now. I like to really know a couple of people that actually are graduates of Harvard or Yale or what have you, one of the Ivy League, for instance, schools, Cornell, Princeton, I believe. Yeah, and say, hey, Rutgers, I think. Yeah, hey, say, hey. I'd like to know what do you think about where your alumni now that's coming out or that's presently in classes, some of these idiots. What do you think about the education these kids are getting? Are you proud of coming from that school now? If you're not, you should do something about it. Yes, you should write your alumni. You should write the president. You should maybe get a couple of people together and say, you know what? We're bugging out for a while. We're going to watch from a different perspective and the different side of the room. We're done with this malarkey. Joe Biden can, if he wants, can put a stop to this immediately. Immediately. Send in the National Guard. And since they want to behave, act, and identify as terrorists, again, collectively arrest them. Because it's hateful. Death to America? To my country? Our country? And I say that our country to those that love our country. Death to America? Death to all Jews? Genocide? Are you kidding me? Anti-Semitism? Some of these words are so ridiculous even. It's just all the word, even the verbiage, the words, they want to use all these different pronouns. Yeah, well, we have and should stick with the basics of pronouns as we know it. We don't need to look at a man and call him every female pronoun there is. I'm not going to do it. I will never do it. Can't do it. If I don't know any better, let's say it was Kate Jenner, and it's a tranny. But if I don't know any better, that may be a little bit different. But once I find out, then that's it. It's balls and strikes. Or in this case, hey, that's a tranny with balls. Yeah, you can't let that lie of deception, or that deception go unknown. You can't do it. And a lot of these people that are protesting, they're doing the wrong things. It's against, believe it or not, our freedom of speech to speak like that. You can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. It's disrespectful. It's not caring. It's like, what are they wanting in the long run? They want the colleges, for instance, they do have a list of a couple things. And one of the things in particular is, no student suspensions because they're practicing the right of free speech. And then they've got another one where it turns around where They want all corporations that are affiliated with the Israelis or the Jewish people to be pulled out of the colleges. I mean, all of a sudden they want to be auditors of the finances of how a college is operated or ran. I mean, let's be realistic. Truly, let's be realistic. It's none of their business. The Jewish people right now are hiding their faith of their Star of David. Christians, we wear, hold, and proudly display, some form of mother, Mother Mary, or perhaps we have a cross that we say, hey, this is our faith. This is what we believe in. This is what I mean, Jesus, love, and doing good amongst people. But you got to have other people that are going to step up and say, we got to hold you accountable. I have no problem, by the way. Cold heart for several different types of crimes and how they should be handled as far as executions. And I do believe death penalty. I believe in it 100%. I think it's a waste of the people's time to keep having these stupid appeals on so many of these cases that are quite obviously they're ironclad. Now there are many, and I'm not going to say there aren't. There are many where the people are innocent, no doubt, and it happens. It's something that gets through the system, and this system that we have, technically, it's supposed to be the best system in the world. Right now, we're seeing this system operating, I would say, subpar, and probably somewhere 80% of it's screwed up, maybe even closer to 90 of the judicial system. 80 to 90% of it's screwed up. I mean, you look at what's happening right now to Donald Trump. It's all just to stop him from being able to technically be a candidate for president. He's done nothing wrong. And everything that they're assuming, or everything they're accusing him of doing, is past the time limits of being addressed. Think about that one. It's so old that they're bringing it up, and some of them could it be in fact addressed by the federal government, but it's not happening. Some of it, I guess, could be, but even then, they don't want to touch it, which is why the state of New York is a shithole, a literal shithole. And I've got some great friends up there. I really do. I love my friends in New York, and I just pray that they would leave. I wish they could just go somewhere, go anywhere, but don't stay there. Preferably, of course, just go below the Mason-Dixie line and go west. West of the Mississippi. We've got some decent states. Minnesota used to be a good state. I wouldn't go there anymore. I may go up there one more time to just visit a couple of friends, but I think this might be my very last visit for a long time, if ever again. It's tough to think that, and I'm serious, it's tough to think that these states are eating themselves from within. It's the governor. It's Mayor Adams in New York City, by the way, in case anyone didn't know. Just kidding. But seriously, they're not using common sense. They should turn a lot of this back over to their leader, their chief, the chief of chaos, Biden himself, the bumbling buffoon that we have as a disgrace, as a representative of the United States, the figurehead of. He's a disgrace. He's an illegitimate president. Should not be in there. I don't know what course of action or what needs to be done, but it should happen. He should have been out a long time ago. But we're past the point of return in a lot of different things. But we can correct a few of them and start maybe redirecting the view of our country and the way the world views us. And we have that chance. You know, we have the right here in America to pursue our happiness and joy and our freedoms, blah, 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 blah. But so many people take them for granted. So many people don't even, they abuse them. They take them past the limits of. They think they can do pretty much or say pretty much anything they want. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you want, you got to make sure that at best, you better try to make sure that everything that you're saying is truthful. You don't want to lie. You really don't. We all have situations that are, say, off color. It happens, but that's here nor there. That's just life's experiences. But to falsely accuse people, as my wonderful editor did with so many situations, so many in his position as an editor. And, you know, it would be great in Cameron, Missouri, if they would have a real leadership of newsworthiness. I don't know if it's available. I still don't know it's available. There's something out there being written out right now, and I don't know. Maybe it's a step in the right direction. I know of the publisher of the Clinton County Leader, I think it is. You know, but can't talk to them. Can't let them know really what's happening. That we've got a sheriff in that county that will not at least put in a report or file a report with prosecuting attorney Brandy McCain, and she's not going to bring any charges to Tanya O'Boyles, the librarian that's bribing children with candy, with reading pornography distributed at the school, which all this is against the law. And they are just covering each other's ass. Sheriff Fish, I would definitely say your best bet would be, dude, seriously, at least just file a report. If it doesn't go anywhere, it's on the prosecutor. Because, see, things are going to be happening very soon. And we need change very soon. I'm blessed to be surrounded with some key people in this country. You get a chance to listen to Red State Radio. Wish I had actually written that on the banner. Sorry, I didn't. Listen to Red State Radio. Listen to Friday mornings, 104 Springfield FM, 104.1 Springfield FM, WSFG. You're only going to get it at certain media, and this is for our state of Missouri. You know, these officers took an oath of office to serve and protect with honor and integrity. And when they're not doing their jobs, Dean Van Schoik, district area representative, sorry, I feel like you're not doing your job. You should be helping the citizens of Cameron get rid of the tyrant. And again, you have to kill a snake, cut its head off. That's the quickest way. Get rid of that tyrant, Matt Robinson, the superintendent, who gives himself a raise, accepts a salary increase, who gets this money. And he has just graduated a whole class of students that have a lower GPA than the class of students a year before. And they're only getting worse. How do you reward someone for failed leadership? How is it that these kids are getting out of school and they don't even know how to sign their name proper in cursive? So many of them are used to just putting down an X. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I don't believe I am. I don't believe it at all. I met a 35-year-old last night. He wanted to prove to me that he could use cursive and could write down cursive. 35 years old. I'm not going to say anything more, but he had a little bit more of an unfortunate life, and I'll leave it at that. And it took him a while to get out of where he was. Basically, the ghetto. I can say that. It wasn't. He didn't. And he even referred to it as a concrete jungle. You know, And he said, once I got out, blah, blah, blah. And he's doing better. And he's happier because he's doing it on his own. He doesn't quite understand capitalism, but he does. And I told him he's got choices. And then he understood. And that's what we have to do. We have to meet people sometimes that we'll probably never see again. And we sit down and have that drink or that whatever it may be. Maybe you're going to share a pizza. A friend of mine with the Constitution Party, big shout out to Gerald Wistrand. He is now the Constitution Party's national treasurer. That's quite a title. That's quite a responsibility. Playing with people's money is it's a very, very important position to be in when you're going to be a financial planner or what have you. But when you have a whole background of failure and that's just on the basics of tax liens, for instance, big shout out to Doug Winters of the HOA at the Lake Viking, Missouri HOA LVA, Lake Viking Association there. Big shout out to you. How is it that you can be in charge of money or even suggest working with money? I've been promised this month to get an audit with and look at books for the Lake Viking Association, BOD/HOA / Lake Viking Valkyrie Association or whatever it is. Things have got to change. We've got to get it with the times quickly, and we've got to work together. You can't keep taking people's money. We can't act like we are part of that system. We can find people that can do work much more affordable. We have better contracts, but we just have to work at them. It's called working with one another. Like I said, we can handle some problems real quick. I can see right now, let me think about, what would it be, about 5,000? 5,000 people minimum nationwide, just sticking on sticking on a Spirit flight and just dropping them off over there in the middle of Afghanistan, Iran. Just drop them off. Put them with their buddies. Or fly them over into the Mediterranean and just maybe let them walk the rest of the way. Let them go on their pilgrimage. Sure, a lot better than seeing them all just squatting down in the middle of a college campus doing God knows what, when, where, and how. These are your kids. And I'm sorry that I didn't do better. Personally, I'm very sorry because I couldn't have done better. I hope I did well with the few that I influenced. And I've got some stories of some people that, as I said, if I ever get to write my book, I can't make this shit up. I mean, I can't make this shit up. Wonderful stories about wonderful people. But that's the whole thing. Have you done that for people? Have you gone out of your way? Do you even think about giving someone, instead of $5, is going into a Burger King or a McDonald's and giving them a sandwich and a Happy Meal of sorts? You want to give a handout. That's good. Give them food. No one can deny food. They can't deny food because they're hungry. You can give them all the money in the world. They're going to still drink it and drug it away. That's the whole thing. We used to be able to laugh at ourselves. We used to be able to, and actually comedians now are really doing that more. They're going after themselves to show their faults, to let other people laugh about them and at them. And to agree, I think it's a wonderful thing. If you can make a person laugh, you're doing a great job in life. You're doing a great job in life. If you can, you have to spread that happiness, that joy. And you have to do it in everything you're doing. But what's protected and unprotected? Right now, it just seems like hate speech is protected. And those that want to gather, for instance, Christian colleges, they're scorned. They're made fun of. They're ridiculed. These, 4,000 kids, college students gathering, and singing together in unison, and with a big concert like event. And that's a protest, believe it or not. They're not burning. They don't have flags that are hateful and signs that are hateful. They're full of love, encouragement. What side are you going to be on? What side do you want to be on? I'm going to look at a couple of these comments. I don't even know who's here today. Oh, just me. Haha, Vince, long time no see. All right, Dean. They called Trump. Oh, here we go. Here we go. They called Trump a Nazi, and then 3 years later are protesting to kill Jews. Makes perfect sense. Yeah, that's hypocrisy at its best, isn't it? Oh, what else did you write? They just made the death penalty legal. It's called late-term abortions. Just a clump of cells. Oh, gosh. Actually, a clump of cells. These people should be placed in criminal jail cells. Oh, my goodness. How you doing, Ruth? I'm glad to see you, too. I'm sorry I did not even know you guys were watching. I just now realized it. But the only reason he's still there is because heels up is worse than he is. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. And we do a lot of these montages, by the way, folks. Glad to see you guys, all of you. We get these montages lately of Kamala Harris and her giggles and laughs. She's got a neurological problem. She's got a nervous tic. She's a little unbalanced. She says that all the females in her family have that gut laugh, that they really, bring it to the table type laugh. No, that's what you've got is, I'm unsure. I don't have confidence. I have low self-esteem. I think that if I giggle, you're giggle, then we'll all giggle together. She's a leader of giggleship. That's it. That's all Harris is. And then to listen to her in an interview with Drew Barrymore. And Drew Barrymore, oh my God, that woman, I don't know what happened to her. Seriously, she was a little girl in pigtails, by the way, with E.T. Phone Home. And she was such a cute little girl in that movie. And then after that movie, it's like her brain left the universe. And she's just a nutcase. I can't even stand listening to her, looking at her. I could never be within the nose sniffing. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't even want to smell her. But seriously, she's got Kamala Harris sitting in front of her, and Kamala's explaining this wonderful, humorous, boisterous job. I have this laugh that I'm so proud of for a vice president. And at the same time, Drew's like, we need to call you Mamala. Yeah, we need I don't know about you folks, but yeah, I want a Mamala in the White House for vice president, soon to be, by the way, possibly because if Joe dies, she would be the president. Isn't that a thought? Take a moment and think. Kamala could end up running this country as a president. That's just scary. No matter what way you turn, this whole administration is guilty of treason. In days of old, treason was by death penalty offense. There was no two ways about it. The Constitution's been so ripped up. It's been so destroyed. Right now, we've got a few people around this country that I'm familiar with that I absolutely feel so blessed to have them in my life. And they're doing things that are big. They're very behind the scene and low in the shadows. Why? There's not enough people paying attention. Not enough people listening, not enough people sharing information or saying, this information sounds better than some of the other stuff that I read off the National Enquirer. Because really, when you think about it, all the major networks of cable, as far as what would be considered major, MSNBC, CBS, NBC, all of them. I can't. Oh, by the way, on community guidelines, I can't even write anything on Microsoft. They've censored me. I can't voice an opinion. I'm giving them my honest, brutal, truthful thoughts, and I can't do that at all. They can censor you everywhere they want. In one way, sometimes I'm like, yeah, this show's going to get censored for something. It will have to be. It will have to be. Because I'm maybe too mean on the terrorist supporters and the terrorists that are in the encampments of these colleges illegally. They shouldn't be there. They should not be there at all. It's all failed leadership. And if you look at some of the stuff that I'm talking about of these institutions, you guys know it's true. You guys know it's true. I want to let you know that I have some people coming on soon. I hope some returning even sooner yet. Yes, no one said anything about my frog. I didn't know why. What happened? You guys don't like my frog? Huh? Yeah, I like my frog. You know, we want to be different. We want to be original. We want to be special. We want to be remarkable. That would be the ones that are independent, critical thinkers, the ones that are willing to take risks, the ones that are willing to say, you know what? I can be and want to be outstanding. Watched a hell of a movie. Oh boy. I can't get more excited about this one. I watched one hell of a movie this weekend. Wished I had DVR'd it or DRV it or whatever it is. Wish I'd saved it. 1941, Earl Flynn. They died with their boots on. That was the name of the movie. They died with their boots on. I had one scene near the end of the movie, so I don't want to give it all away, of course. Errol Flynn was playing General George Custard, and he was making his last stand as he knew it to be. He knew this was a suicide mission at Bull Run, I believe, and the Little Bighorn, I'm sorry. And anyway, he had said to another supporting actor in the movie who was playing a part, he said, you know, when you die, you can't take money with you, but you can take glory. Folks, do it for your own honor and integrity. Take that glory. Love God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul. Pray. Try to do things to help people you know that are worthy, people that can really benefit. And if you can take care of someone on the side, knowing the best they can do is exist by just giving them a burger and fries, do that. If you can do that just once a week, in fact, I'm going to put that challenge out there. Do that just once a week. Oh, what's this? It's the only reason he's there is because he's healing up. Yeah, it's called dick damage. What in the heck? Oh my goodness. And Firestar. Oh, that's right. That's right. He's talking about I think going back to Drew Barrymore. She was good in Firestar when I think about it. I thought it was not Jodie, but the other one. Can't think. There's some actresses there. Shit, this one I'm thinking of was not a very attractive at all. But anyway, you know, we're all gonna die soon, someday, somehow, some way, and you're going to want to hopefully be remembered in one way, shape, form, or another. You know, this is my time. Sometimes I just want to vent. But when I say I have some interesting people coming on soon, we're getting ducks in a row. We have things happening so quickly. I mean, I'm right in the trenches with a gentleman that I just met recently, wonderful man, and he's fighting for all of us, each and every one of us. He's going to the Supreme Court, Tanaway Downing. If you get an opportunity, I would hope that maybe you'd look him up. Civil rights attorney, and he's nailing it. He's nailing it, and that's the thing. You have to be a participator, one way, shape, form, or another. be a participator, if nothing else, but to share. That's it. Just share with some kind words. If you don't have anything kind to say about someone, supposed to be, you're not supposed to say anything at all. Well, I'm sorry. Sometimes you just have to let someone know that a cactus has a lot of pricks. And so does a porcupine. But at least with a porcupine, it has a heart. If you just stroke it the right way, if you're just kind enough in the right way, you won't get pricked. Vent it for the day. I'm done. Vent it and finished. Voraciously yours, Vincent. You guys have a good week. Come on to the Paramystic channel. Check out several other shows that are out there. Truck, it's just going off the deep end. I just love it. And we've got a couple other programs we're trying to initiate. I haven't even talked to anyone for sporadically the past couple of weeks because there's so much going on, and all of us have a ton going on. And we've got Don Corleone. I wanted to put this up here and give him a shout out special. I don't get to say it actually often enough, but if you're looking for web graphics and development, you can email Don Corleone there at that email address. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to get beauty for it. In fact, this guy here, ooh, I can't believe it. 45 pounds of morel mushrooms. But, it took work. He had to walk about 3 miles. It was pretty tough. But he had this focused on. He knew he wanted to go somewhere. And that he's right now, I don't know if he realizes, it's like, I did the calculations, 45 pounds, basically he's got about somewhere in the neighborhood about $2,800, $2,900. Good eating. But nothing comes easy. Nothing is just, the morels did not grow in his backyard. It's kind of like common sense flower. It just doesn't grow in everyone's garden. This is going to be seriously. This is going to be a big election, and I'm scared. I wanted to get off earlier just a couple of minutes ago, but I'm scared. I'm scared of where we're at, what we're doing. We're right in the middle of the movie Idiocracy, right in the middle of it right now. We can either do one or two things. Go to the take a pause and go to the get some popcorn and sody pop, and sit back down and continue with the movie, or we can start making changes in our lifestyles, in our lives. And we've got to be that change. We can't expect just because Trump gets in there as president that will change everything. We have to be that change, get more involved. Again, I needed to vent today. Oh, so much going on. And believe me, when it starts rolling, it's going to roll hard. It's going to roll fast. Who knows? Maybe one of these days I'll be doing a podcast from somewhere in the Caribbean, preferably in a friendly state, a country, should I say, or state of country mind. I always like Jamaica. Friends of mine right now have landed in Cozumel, and there's about 6-8 of them that went. It's going to be a very nice, memorable trip. That's the thing is, people like this, they take trips like that, and the memories are forever. Hopefully good memories. We don't want to see someone getting chewed up by barracudas, which, by the way, doesn't often happen. Sharks, yeah, barracudas, not so much. Anyway, I'm going to say over and out, and thank you for joining me here, folks. Voraciously from the bottom of my heart, good night.